It's been 2 years since the 10th generation Honda Civic was first released to huge acclaim, quickly becoming a staple sight on Philippine roads. In the midst of newer competition, as well as a boom in SUV demand, how does the Civic RS Turbo stack up? Let's find out in this review. The exterior needs no introduction. It's a design we've seen for quite a while now. And yet, the Civic still draws plenty of attention. The front fascia is highlighted by a sharp solid wing face grille, which are then flanked by LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. The 5-spoke two-tone alloy wheels and rear spoiler denote that this is the RS Turbo variant. At the back, the sleek C-shaped LED taillights do cast a striking glow at night, while the rest of the body follows a form similar to what you'd find in a four-door coupe, giving the Civic a very sleek profile. Despite that sleek design, no compromises have been made to the interior. As a matter of fact, one could easily compare the amount of space you get with the 5th generation CD Accord. Space in the back is generous for 3 adults, while those at the front are treated to a well-designed and stylish dashboard. There are some soft-touch materials in many places, well, except to those areas you would rarely touch. Elsewhere, you get some faux aluminum trim and satin silver finishes, which all help lift the interior vibe. Infotainment duties are done through Honda's display audio infotainment system. The interface and touch response isn't the best, but it's still better than most in its segment. Navigation comes as standard, as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. In other respects, trunk space is extremely generous. With 425 liters of space, it's one of the most generous in its class. Under the hood is a 1.5-liter VTEC turbo engine delivering 172 horsepower and 220 Nm of torque, sending the power to the front wheels via Honda's Earth Dream CVT. With best-in-class power and torque figures, let's see if the Civic RS Turbo performs well on the road. So this Honda Civic RS Turbo is one of those cars that manages to be an excellent all-rounder. So not only does it provide driving thrills with the way it drives, with the way it handles corners, and especially with the way it accelerates, but also with how this Honda Civic RS manages to be comfortable and practical at the same time. For starters, this 1.5-liter iVTEC turbocharged engine does a pretty good job of pulling the car and its weight, because of how the CVT manages to make the engine in its optimum rev range and in its optimum boost range for the turbochargers to kick in and provide boost for the car. Turbo lag is very minimal. And not only does the Civic RS Turbo provide driving thrills with the way it accelerates, but also with the way it corners. So the steering wheel does a pretty good job of telling the driver what's happening to the front wheels. It's very precise, it's very agile, it's very responsive to any driver inputs that you make to the car. Not only that, one of the best aspects of the Civic is that even though it's able to provide driving thrills to the car, it still manages to be comfortable in everyday driving situations. The suspension deals with bumps pretty well, and despite the car's performance and handling capabilities, with the way the car accelerates, with how fast this thing drives, the Civic RS still manages to do 10.9 kilometers per liter, which when you consider that this is faster than the Toyota 86, you really have to commend Honda for doing such a good job of making the Civic RS not just fast, but also very fuel efficient. Negatives, probably the interior is still a bit too plasticky when you compare it especially to the likes of a Mazda 3 or a Volkswagen Jetta. But apart from that, the Civic is one of the best sedans you could buy right now. 2 years ever since its release in 2016, the Civic RS is still one of the best sedans you could buy on the market. It's a car that manages to be sporty and yet comfortable and practical for your everyday needs. So if you want to read my full review on this car, just visit goflatouthph.com.